Is it out here?
Love 15.
We do see a lot of Zverev this time of year, but he does look fit. He's always looks fit, but he's even a little slimmer and tighter around the. He's done a lot of work, I reckon. He looks powerful.
Love 13.
You know, one thing I really enjoy watching, there's a few things, but with Alexander is he's a very smart player. He plays himself into the match. He's got plenty of margin over the net in the first few games on his forehand and backhand, and nice, you know, never looked like he's rushing. He's nice and relaxed, but you know, and then when he's got an opportunity, he'll step in and rip it. But
15-13.
definitely an opportunity for Thiago. As you said, Fitz, he's got nothing to lose here, and he's definitely a much better player than what his result was yesterday, the other day in his first match. So hopefully he can settle in and give himself an opportunity to play the tennis he's capable of playing.
Sharp work.
Pretty good start at the net, wasn't it, from Zverev? You know, it's probably one part of his game that I've always had a slight question mark about, the ability to volley consistently and with feel. I mean, he's got such long arms. I mean, he's a big man. He's 6'6" and 198, and to get that racket head close to the eyes is not easy for a guy of that stature. But that's good to see him in there early and making some good reflex volleys there.
No, just pummeling Monteiro to get the break. So Zverev takes the opening game.
First game.
And Zverev here is doing something that I think should happen more often, Mark. He's just gone straight to the other end and he's ready to go. No back to the bench, no getting a drink, no, he's just ready. Well, I like it. Old school.
Yeah, they've only just played a game. You know, like you said, these guys are fit. he's broken. He knows what he has to do. He's just got to focus now on his serve, hitting the ball well, seeing it well. He's ready to go. It's like, let's go, let's play. I love it.
Pace of play is a continuing topic of conversation. Tennis and golf, but matches durations are creeping out. Sessions going for longer and longer. But Zverev, he's busy, ready for business.
Jeez, Alexander does such a great job in using all of his 6'6" frame in his serve. I love the ball toss he has. It's high, it's consistent, allows him to reach up and hit it.
Very low.
Uses his legs nicely into the serve as well. I think it's one of the best shots on the tour. That first serve is huge weapon.
14 love.
Isn't it interesting, Mark, that his second serve became such an enigma a few years ago? Well, we don't see it or talk about it much anymore, but it was he almost had the yips on his second serve, and it was hard to understand why. Like, his first serve is just exceptional.
It's a complete mental thing, wasn't it, Fitzy? And he was just a complete deceleration of the racket head in the second serve. That's all it was. But he understood that. He was on the practice court. I spoke to his brother. He knew what he had to do. But sometimes you just got to somehow play through that, and he did. But and his fix for that was actually doing 2 first serves, if you remember that, instead of rolling in his second serves. He'd start going for that second serve, and but yeah, there was a time where he was really dodgy.
Gee, I shouldn't have brought it
No,
up.
just as you mentioned, the serve, 2
Fitzy.
double faults.
Can you
Hasn't
believe
looked
that?
like getting one in since you've started praising him. That's an early error from John Fitzgerald, unforced.
Game Team Germany.
Gets there in the end to consolidate that early break.
Team Germany leads 2 games to 0.
This is interesting. This is from last year's Australian Open, Mark, and the second serve where he goes back further on the second serve. So first serve starting a little further forward, still, quite a distance behind the baseline, but for the second serve, he takes half a step back.
Yeah, look, I don't mind that, because he takes a nice big cut, and he's got a lot of, as I said, there's a lot of range over that net. It's got a nice shape on the ball, and he recovers nicely. So I don't mind that.
I think generally, David, when you see that, it means that it gives you an idea into not just his mentality, but how he plays and what his strengths are. He can compete with anyone in the game from the back of the court. If you're more likely to be a net rusher, that those lines might be reversed a little bit, where you stand in closer on the second serve, so you can attack it more and establish a position in the court. He's happy to just stay back there, not be aced by a second ball or forced into error, get the ball into play with some effectiveness, and then he just backs himself from there.
Yeah, and the first serve is a little closer, because I think he likes to cut off the angle on the serve, but when he has that second serve. Can't argue with the results, though. Moves incredibly well for a guy 6'6".
40 love.
Oh, that was clever. Little punch to get on the board for Monteiro and Team Brazil.
Team Germany leads 2 games to 1.
That was a nice move. Sort of went straight to his racket where he was. Heavy ground strokes from Zverev. That was nice. Team China was the other group in this other team in this group. So as it's standing at the moment, Germany, China battling it out for the top spot. You're not wasting any time, is Alexander Zverev. Up out of the chair quickly, ready to go. The early break here.
Time.
Does that annoy you when your opponent, if you're playing so quickly, he's ready to go? If you sit there and wait for time, but do you know, does it put you off?
No, I
You
think I
just have to
felt
sit in
like
your own
if a
bubble?
player was trying to rush me, I would slow down. It wouldn't make a difference for me. We didn't have a clock back then. I mean, it was, we had one, but not visibly.
Fifteen love. Very low. Very 15.
It's great depth from Thiago there on that ground stroke.
15. 40-30. Game, Team Germany.
Again, big serving from Zverev. Average first serve speed of over 200 kilometres an hour.
Team Germany leads
3-1. John Fitzgerald's made his way down to Team Brazil bench. Alvarez played in the mixed doubles. Fitzy, over to you.
Carolina, thanks for joining us. It's a tough competition, this United Cup, isn't it? And you've had a couple of tough losses so far. But how is the feeling within your team?
It's the first competition of the year, so everyone in the team is still trying to get in better shape. But it's a tough competition, as you said. Tough players playing the best level. So yeah, tough losses, but the team is very united. We are all great friends. We've known each other since we are little kids playing tournaments in Brazil. So it's nice to be here with the whole team and get to share good moments. We are here for each other even with the losses. So yeah, it's the atmosphere with the team. It's good.
It's lovely to hear. It's a great bonding, isn't it, when you play in pressure situations with friends. Beatrice is okay. She's had 2 tough losses, but spent a lot of time on the court.
Yeah, she's okay. She's a very positive player. As I said yesterday as well in the interview, I get to learn a lot with her, even in the tough moments. She can get a good energy. She lost now like 20 minutes ago, and she's here supporting Thiago. So that's the point about playing for the team, you know.
You got to love that. And Thiago, I mean, this is a tough ask, isn't it? I mean, he's a very, very good player, but he's playing the number 2 in the world at the moment. There's so much power, isn't there, coming from the other end? Yeah.
He's serving big. He's playing big. He's the number 2. He's a great player, but it's a good opportunity for Thiago to play against great players in the beginning of the year and to prepare for a great season for him. He's a great player. He's an example for us in Brazil, for all the young players. They look for his example. So it's nice, good to watch a match like this as well.
Beautiful. And your form, you were happy in the mixed doubles the other day. You played well.
Yes, I played well. It was so nice for me because Rafa, my partner, he's a great friend of mine. We were playing together since we were like 8. So it was my first time playing professional tennis in mixed doubles. And it was a lot of fun with our coach here, watching and supporting with the whole team. So it was really nice, really fun. Even if we lost, the match was good. It was nice to try to return big serves from the Chinese players. And yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, fantastic. Great experience. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for chatting to us.
Thanks a lot.
Can you send our regards to Guga?
To Guga?
Can you send our regards to him?
Guga, abraço para você. Brasil.
Thank you, Carolina.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
John Fitzgerald referencing there Gustavo Kuerten and Thiago Monteiro started watching and getting interested in tennis, watching Kuerten, who's at his brother's soccer club, and he was on the television screen, of course, 3-time French Open champion. And now it's Monteiro who's carrying the flag for the Brazilian men.
Deuce.
That's how it works, isn't it, Mark? You can't be what you can't see, and it's important when you're growing up to, you're into a sport, you see your heroes on the television screen, you dream about what it might be like, you mimic them, you wear, in Fitzy's case, we all used to get around in the very tight shorts, pretending that we were John Fitzgerald running around the grass.
It's good to see Thiago here fighting to get through this service game. Good save on the break point and another big serve here at deuce. Giving him a game point. He's only down one break. Definitely hitting the ball better today.
Game
Good serving. Good service hold for Monteiro. Team Germany 3-2.
Team Germany leads 3 games to 2.
So unique, any part of the world. They get a bit of encouragement from that last service game. Thiago Monteiro had some good results last year. And a couple of 1,000 events in Madrid and the Italian Open, 3rd round and 4th round after getting through qualifying. So you talked about that at the outset, Mark, that he's better than the 109 and probably on his good days better than the 61, which is his career high. If you're making it through to the 3rd and 4th round of those 1,000 events, you're a serious player.
Such a big play for Alexander there. That the 1-2, the big 1-2, that first serve, and then that second ball. Whether it's the forehand or on the backhand, steps in beautifully. Body weight towards the direction of the shot.
John Fitzgerald's returned courtside. Fitzy was a lovely interview with Carolina. It's what makes this format so good, isn't it, to start the season? The two tours coming together, men and women, and whilst you may not play matches, you're in the team environment, you then part ways and do your own thing for virtually the entire year, and it's a tremendous way to start the season.
Yeah, I think this sport misses that team camaraderie sometimes, David, and yeah, what a beautiful young lady that was. She is, and you could tell the joy coming from her, just sitting there with her about what it's like to play with her countrymen and women. And, yeah, it's a great format. They get a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge out of this too, I think. So all in all, it was a wonderful thing. Also good to see Sasha get in there and hit a beautiful touch volley on the point previous to that one. I think that's where he can really lift his game over the next 12, 18 months, 2 years. Maybe it can make the difference. You know, he's got to win a major now if he wants to. If he wants to reach that pinnacle, get to #1 in the world, I think he's got to win a major. And he's been close. This is the probably preferred surface. And part of that all-court game, just to give him that extra dimension, I think is a big part of that opportunity.
So question to both of you after Monteiro serves here. Wimbledon's been the one where he hasn't had the strongest results. 4th round is his best on 3 occasions. Semi-final, AO, runner-up at the French and the US, but Wimbledon's the one thing, and that all-court game would help him there, Fitzy.
I think so, but he's got to find that extra little nuance to get over the line in one of these other majors too.
Love 15.
And I think he's been showing signs about coming in more often over the last year or so, but I'm not sure he's been quite competent enough in that small facet of his game. And I love the look of that volley. That was great feel. He came in, good technique, finished the point off.
So, in your opinion, that's a missing ingredient for Alexander, is just finishing a few more of his points at the net, being confident about moving forward a little bit more. I mean, look, he's going to have opportunities even to do that on the serve too, with that serve of his, that weapon of his. Now and again, to sneak in a serve and volley.
$15-30. Zverev.
It's a great serve. So, Fitzy, I think I think it's safe to say that's something that Sinner and Alcaraz did add, that coming to net more, you know, and they weren't afraid to try it and do it during their matches, and it's one thing that's definitely helped them to get to that next level. Would you agree?
Absolutely, yes. Look, there's very little in this life I disagree with you, but I'm not going to disagree on that. I know that for sure. It's a big asset to be able to come forward and finish, isn't it?
Monteiro trails 3-4 in this opening set. Rafael Ciarroni, team captain for Team Brazil. Still just one service break here. It came in the opening service game of the match, Thiago Monteiro. Since then, tighter contest. So there's been strong on serve. 63% of first serves in. He's won 90% of them. Serving at an average speed of over 200 kilometres an hour provides difficulties, and now he's got the new balls, so they'll come off with some extra fizz here. Team Germany leading 4-3.
$15.
Now, when you sit on the edge of the court here like this, guys, you've both done it. You can see the trajectory of the ball a lot better at the court height. or at the court level. And I've always been a bit fascinated with Sasha, how
30
he doesn't
love.
have a lot of high to low on the ball. His trajectory is pretty flat, and he stands a long way back in the court for most of the time he's trading ground strokes. So his control and accuracy is exceptional to be able to do that time, and hitting the ball at that speed with possibly a little less margin on his ball than some of the other top players. It's pretty impressive how he can control it.
Well, you can certainly notice that from up here, Fitzy. I was thinking in that last swing, rear behind the right shoulder of Zverev, and it's a very flat ball consistently, not much margin over the top of the net. Now that was a bit of a guess, but he went the right way. A little grin too. I got away with that one, says Thiago.
Well, he made a mistake, didn't he, Sasha? But it was a 40 love mistake. Not as damaging as it could be at another stage of the game.
Just a little flat on that shot, a little lazy. He's normally really good about getting his feet in position and always being balanced in his shots. Still got game point though.
Game in Germany.
Again, the big serve, 212 the last serve, 216 fastest so far for Zverev. Showing zero interest in the towel either. I don't think he's sweating. Just ready for the next point. Setting a great example for pace of play. There'll be more of it.
Love 15.
Yeah, David, you've touched on it a couple of times. It's one of my bugbears. I know that you know that. Pace of play. I think it's hurt the game a little bit. And we need to do everything we can to quicken it up a little bit, I think. And strangely enough, I feel like the shot clock is actually detrimental there rather than being a positive. Because I think players, you know, they reverse engineer it so that they see the shot clock and they know that they've got a certain amount of seconds left and they wait. I think it should be continual play.
Good serving. So here's a theory out of left field. I don't mind the shot clock, but you introduce it in the final set when things have, you know, you've been playing a long match. If it's a third set for the women or fifth set for the men, that's when you give them a little bit of extra time to recover. Just a little bit of extra. That's when they can take the full 25. Otherwise, it's 20.
A little?
Well, 25. But otherwise, it's less. Anyway. As you know, Fitzy, rules are generally invented because there's a reason someone's doing the wrong thing, so you bring in a rule. And the shot clock was there because some players were taking any amount of time.
That's true.
And the chair umpire really had to, and it was the high-profile players, chair umpire had to make a decision which was uncomfortable for the umpire.
Yeah.
So they bring in a clock, and that then applies to everybody.
Well, it's human nature to take advantage of whatever you can, but to win the point. But I'm not sure. It becomes habitual, doesn't it? A habit for all of the players to when they start taking longer. And it's part of the DNA now, I think, of the sport, where they watch the clock and they let it run down and then they play. And it's going to be tough to reverse that, but I think we have to try and do something to quicken play up.
Well, we'll send videos of Alexander Zverev to all the players. So here's a good example. That'd go down well.
Team Brazil.
He's had a good first set here, Thiago Monteiro.
Team Germany leads 5
Zverev will serve for the set when he returns.
Bien restado, está restando bien ahí. Lo que te deja, que está sacando muchos primeros. Viene el resto, el primer punto, ha restado bien y te quedas ahí.
Alexander Zverev Sr. is the team captain for Germany. Defending champions waiting for the third day of play to get their defence underway. Team USA still to come. Zverev taking on board some fuel. Seems to suffer from type 1 diabetes, so really important for him to occasionally see him to monitor, just making sure the levels are good. He hasn't had it all his own way. He hasn't really been stretched that much. The world number 2. Broke in the opening service game. Now he finds himself serving for this opening set. Team Germany winning the opening match. Laura Siegerman over Beatrice Haddad-Meyer, 3 sets.
Love.
Yeah, that really was a nothing forehand. Middle of the court, just sitting there.
Very low.
Well, again, that's that shot, Fitzy, and I can see you're on the edge of your seat now because you'd love a serve, a volley, a move into the net, a little deft touch. That's right up your alley.
Yeah, well, I think his technique, look, it's not bad. Sometimes I thought his racket face was too far away from his eyes because his limbs are so long. That's part of it. But he's showing good signs here for me. And I really believe if he can improve that just a few percentage points, it will contribute to giving him a better chance, I think, at the major. You know, I think when you're this good, you you deal in nuances, you deal in fractions, and I mean, he's 2 in the world. He hasn't won a major yet, though. And I'm sure that will almost complete his career if he can do that, because it might get him to #1 as well.
He's already been the Olympic gold medalist, of course, and with the ace, he's third of the match. He takes the opening set 6-4 here, 41 minutes for Team Germany. If he was in second and third gear, he just slid it into fourth there, Fitzy, just to get this set underway, Zverev.
Yeah, well, Thiago, he just picked the wrong place. He left himself vulnerable, didn't he? Not a good volley after the smash wasn't put away, but the mistake was not putting the smash away, really. Great reaction, though, wasn't it, from Zverev? He threaded the needle on that backhand. But how quickly it can cause a problem.
Brilliant effort. Ball kid at the back of the court, caught between the knees.
Well, it's just a small mistake at the time, but that has, and they've always been known to have good hand-eye coordination in Western Australia, even without the hands.
Yeah,
David.
I'm not 100% certain that was deliberate, to be honest. It's just that's where it ended up.
There's some good athletes from this state, let me tell you. But yeah, this small mistake on the first point has now evolved into a monumental one.
Game, Team Germany.
And as the first set commenced, we start with a break of serve in the second set. Zverev gets the opening game.
You know, in this sport, David, sometimes I think to distinguish between the top echelon of players and the very, very good ones, that was a prime example of a guy ranked 100 in the world just playing a bad game. The top end guys do that a lot less. They maintain their level for longer. So there's periods of time when they look the same. You know, they compete well, they're even. You can't distinguish who's the better player sometimes, but then the lesser players sometimes can drop off more often. And that was a poor game by professional standard. Just takes all the pressure off Zverev and lets him open his shoulders.
Yeah, it's tough enough when you're playing Alexander to be hanging in there, but when you're giving him a gift like that and down love one and a break.
Third love.
He's never had an opportunity to settle into this match at all. Losing his service game, both sets.
Love. Game, Team Germany.
Big serving. We talked about that net clearance on the ground strokes, and we can show you the difference between the two players here. Between Monteiro in the red, Zverev. That's a big difference, isn't it, in terms of taking time away from your opposition. The ball comes at you quicker, harder, flatter. Zero loop.
What's interesting is he still ends up almost with the same height as after the bounce.
Yeah. 6'6" might help with that.
Yeah, exactly.
15 love. Very low.
Smart serve for a lefty there. To the body, the right hip of the returner.
After dropping his first service game, that's a much better effort from Thiago Monteiro.
Team Germany
to
leads
start like that would have
2-1.
changed the feeling at the start of this second set. Zverev 2-1. Sun doing its best to poke through the overcast skies here in Perth on a Sunday afternoon.
Time.
Warm day, heat rising over the next few days as we count down to the new year. Quarterfinals here that'll decide who travels to Sydney to meet two teams currently underway in Sydney for the United Cup final of 2025. Zverev here with the break, 2-1.
Net for service. Fifteen love. 15-13.
So that one needs to get a little better. That backhand volley to finish it. But I was about to compliment Sasha, and I still should, on that backhand he uses. That is an amazing shot he possesses. But that needs work, that one.
Very all.
Dale, Thiago, vamos.
$14-13. Game, Team Germany.
Another two big serves under a little more duress than he's been on serve throughout the
Team
match.
Germany leads 3 games to 1.
Two big serves to take the lead out to 3-1.
Ball, please.
Wow, was that a pretty shot. Thiago,
Low
I thought, hit a
15.
beautiful slice. It stayed down really low. Look at this. And Alexander goes the highest part of the net. Great angle on that last replay. Head still, racket head acceleration. That was not easy.
$15.
Alexander getting visibly frustrated here with a couple of his misses, especially on that forehand side. It's feeling like it's just flying off his racket a little bit. Again, first match of the year, is just feeling his way in here into the match, but great signs of the way he's hitting the ball.
$15. $15.
I mean, he's played his fair share of very good points, hasn't he, Thiago, today? I mean, it certainly has improved dramatically from his first match here, and that sometimes happens. That you can be a bit rusty in that opening one, but he's got some feel and some talent.
So hanging in there. Again, that first service game, losing serve, Monteiro sees him trailing. It's Team Germany 3-2.
Team Germany leads 3 games to 2.
Incredible area, the Pinnacles, Kalbardi National Park, a little under 600 kilometres north of Perth. Favourite location for photographers here, particularly sunrise and sunset. Limestone formations, Numbung National Park. Not sure how they determined that it was formed 30,000 years ago. Seems difficult to work out. The geologist's busy. Tremendous area. So upper set in the break is the world #2, highest ranked singles player on the men's side of the United Cup in 2025. I say 2025, I'm sure you understand what we're saying. New season.
Time.
A little cleaner than 24-25. He's in command here.
Low.
Take a look at the service placement from Zverev. Not many down the middle of the service court, that is.
Very low.
The body serve mark seems to, we've only seen 3 days of play here, but it's almost a rarity. It's an effective one when the time is right.
No, Dave, we don't see it too often. I think, you know, when you're hitting at speed that these guys are hitting at and the accuracy, I guess they're thinking, well, why have a chance for it to come back? But it's a very effective serve, and we've seen it a couple of times in this match. And the guys don't expect it, that's for sure. You know, so it's definitely an important one, but we don't see it too often.
Team Germany.
Yeah, on the faster surfaces, we'll see it more. I think on the slower surfaces, you know, they feel like they can get out of the way.
Team Germany
There's another service game to love for Zverev. Edging closer to the finish line here. New balls, so new racket for Zverev. A loss here for Team Brazil would mean that they exit the competition. We saw Team Spain bow out last night. Mixed doubles still to come, of course. Could be important in terms of a tie-break situation. The winners of the 3 groups, both Perth and Sydney, automatically through to the quarterfinals, and then one team, the lucky losers, also joining them.
Very low.
Hey, Fitzy, do you know what
Very
session
good.
is going on about?
I think Fitzy's got his headphones off. He's just in deep conversation courtside. Was it something about something being turned down?
Not sure. Let's see if he puts his eyes. Hey, welcome back.
Michaela down there just pointing out. Come on, Fitzy. Headset on.
Welcome back, Fitzy.
Welcome back.
Yeah, no, I
Just seeing
was trying to work out what Sasha was asking for there.
That's what I was
40-15.
asking you if you know what is going on about.
Well, there was a noise, but I don't know what it was. But he complained about it to the umpire and said, "I've asked you to turn that down, get him to turn it down an hour ago." And the umpire said, "Well, I asked," and he said, "Well, they didn't." But I don't know what the noise was, Mark.
You've turned your pacemaker down, haven't you?
That is harsh. I was starting to think I was talking too loudly.
You're snoring too loudly.
You know,
Well, the art of commentary, Fitzy, requires you to have your headset on.
Dave,
You think
I
after
reckon-
all of these years.
I think Flipper's taken it to a whole new level in commentator abuse.
Yeah, I've got a series of cards here, but I haven't been moved to use one with him yet.
Make it a red one. Will you?
Only because I've got the utmost respect for Fitzy and I love him. That's why, you know. Good rally. Good service game again from Monteiro. It's almost a carbon copy of the opening set. Dropped the first service
Team
game.
Germany leads 4 games to 3.
Hold serve until the end. Team Germany 4-3.
No la red, tírala fuera, no la red. Estaba bien en la posición, tírala ahí, tienes metros para tirarla fuera ahí, no la red. Vamos. Bien los reveses,
Conversation
bien,
continues in the team bench for Brazil, but also Jerry Armstrong on the
sí, sí,
radio to the chair umpire Adele Noor about whatever it was that needs to be turned up or down.
eso, la derecha aquí arriba, no te la quedes ahí en el suelo.
Почему у меня иногда просто улетает, куда-нибудь?
A couple of games away from rounding out the tie here for Team Germany. World number 2. Alexander Zverev. A break here, leading 4-3. Germany will take on Team China tomorrow night in the evening session. It'll be an entertaining battle, the battle of the giants, the 6'6". Zhang Zhizhen up against the 6'6" Alexander Zverev. He's a little bit wider, Zhang, a bit more of him. But they both hit the ball very hard. Not quite there yet. So
Dave,
Detective Fitzgerald has been on the case.
yes, call me Watson. He was not happy with the brightness of the LED lighting at the back of the court because apparently it's set for daytime. But because it's so overcast, they're coming in really brightly, and it was affecting his vision on seeing the ball. So, you know, this game is particularly today, is full of small nuances.
Well done, Fitzy. You did all of that and didn't even leave your chair.
Call me Inspector Clouseau. Gee, that's a big serve. It's just so naturally big with bounce and acceleration. You know, that the racket head speed is created by the length of his arm, and gee, it's awkward. Comes from an incredible height.
Another easy service hold for Zverev, who's now on the doorstep of the win.
Team Germany leads 5 games to 3. Long. Very low. Low.
So it's a complete replica, isn't it, of that opening set. First service game is dropped, service holds throughout. Zverev will serve for the match when we return. Once again, Zverev sits down for about 15 seconds and then gets up, and he must have an appointment somewhere. Late lunch, early dinner.
I think part of it, David, is that he doesn't feel under stress. He feels like he's got Thiago covered here, and he doesn't feel too much pressure. I think that's part of it.
Hour and 13 minutes we've been in operation for. And world number 2, Alexander Zverev, serving for the match, serving for the tie for Team Germany, having won the women's singles earlier.
15.
Thiago says not yet. Really going after this forehand. Great acceleration. Really opening up the shoulders on that one. Didn't miss by much. Just a little loss of concentration here. Sasha's got to be careful because Thiago's definitely coming out more aggressive in this last game. Good for him. Knows he's got to be aggressive, take risks. Not much you can do about that. Again, Sasha, that serves that wide serve, which is a tougher serve, men's tennis, over the highest part of the net. Does that with ease. Oh, with that 1-2 combination, brings up match point.
Yeah, I think he'll just want the one combination here. Big serve. And there it is.
Team Germany.
Zverev takes the match. Team Germany take the tie to get the defending champions off to a winning start. Straight set, 6-4, 6-4. And the carbon copy replica both sets. Breaking serve in the opening service game, holding serve throughout, and that was it.